The wood night is sponsored by I Would Like. With the larger lathe bench done, you can see that Nat has been turning a fair bit. I want to resume a few turning videos. I'm not a huge fan of the over-the-shoulder style video for turning because you just tend to get your body in the way. So what I want to do is have a camera mount that comes out and looks straight down. So what I've got is the quick release clamp. I've got the quick release plate on my camera. So this is the Arca Swiss compatible style. They're pretty cheap relatively for videographer gear, but they work surprisingly well and surprisingly steady. I think this clamp was about $15 Australian at that, delivered, and it's a solid block of aluminium that's been milled out, so that means that I don't have to make that. So all I have to do is focus on the boom arm, so that's what we're going to make now. This is a general idea. The clamp will have another piece that goes on there. That'll be mounted to that, mounted to the support arm. This support arm will pivot like that using the hinges, while this piece will pivot to this block, which will slide up and down and use this knob to lock it in position. So I can attach the hinges, I guess, but first I kind of need to make a hole in the back piece that'll go on the wall to accept the bolt. To provide a little bit of extension for the camera mount itself, I want the arm to be able to slide up and down on some T-track. The problem is if I have a groove cut in here for T-track in a single piece of wood, it's pretty much all of it, so there'll be no strength. So what I'm going to do is laminate two pieces together, then run a dado down the middle that'll accept the T-track. T-track gets mounted to the arm, and then we've got some sliding motion up and down. So I've cleaned up the piece that I glued up last night, the laminated piece of ply. So I need to cut a groove for the T-track in it. So I've got a 1/2 inch dado stack set up, which isn't wide enough, so the fence, is offset to one side, so I'll cut it more to one side, then I can reverse it, cut it to the other side. This is probably a little bit easier than trying to get an exact match with a single dado stack, using shims and all of that to get the exact measurements. So this way, hopefully it'll be more centered and more accurate. So the fit's a little bit loose, but for this application I don't think it'll matter too much, because that'll be clamped down in there. Worst case, I can probably add some shims to the side just to So this is my old 400D. So this doesn't take video. This is something we haven't used for a long time, but it works in the mount system. So this wouldn't normally be dangling. I still need to make a few adjustments. I ended up making this too long, so I had to shorten it. This isn't quite as useful as I'd hoped, unless I also have a swivel for this bracket here, which basically I just need to make another one of these tilty swivelly brackets going horizontally, and that'll work. This needs to be rounded a little bit further so that it can have the full range of motion, but otherwise this works and it's kind of neat. It's all out of Baltic birch ply except for the mounting plate, which is out of form ply, because we had scraps at had to use up. I'll probably replace one of the hinges. I made the thickness 85mm because I had two 85mm hinges and one 70mm hinge, so the dimensions were all sort of made up on the fly. I had a basic idea of what I wanted, but there's no dimensions for this. If someone's super interested, I could probably produce some plans, but otherwise it works, and there will be some upcoming turning videos in the future. Thanks for watching.